Tony, kind of walk us through, the game, a six-run inning there to kind of end it. What'd you like offensively?
Kind of the ups and downs. You got to go with the ebb and flow of the game a little bit. And I think the game started off with a lot of electricity. I don't know that I've seen a game where both leadoff hitters hit a home run. Of course, I'm sitting there wondering if my Seinfeld comment, I was just trying to have fun, came a little dose of karma right there. But Simo does his thing, and it's tied 1-1. And then, Blake Burke, really what he did was carry over his BP. I don't know that it was his best BP if you're a fan. It was my favorite BP I've seen him take in a long, long time. And I think the ball he hit there or really the night he had was a byproduct of that. But it looks like it's going to be, if you're a fan, you're probably, sitting there thinking if maybe you don't know the game as well as we do, we're going to keep scoring and they're not going to stop us. Well, that's not how it goes. They make an adjustment, and then our guys had to adjust, and then there were different things that went on in the game, and you saw our guys do whatever they needed to do to kind of piece together offense. Because again, 9-inning game if you don't have the run rule thing, but over the course of the game, there's going to be a lot of different things that happen, and you need to just keep playing, and there'll be some things that go well and some things that don't go well. But I kind of like the fact we were able to ride the roller coaster fairly smoothly.
What have you seen from Blake at the plate over the last 2 weeks? He's found a really nice
Settle in and not try and take the world by storm, at the plate. But really, my thing that I look at with him is his takes, and his takes are better. And then BP too. His BP is always impressive. It's just he's naturally gifted with a beautiful swing and some hand-eye, and then he probably swings as much as anybody in here in the cages and out on the field. He always cheats and takes more than he's supposed to when we have it listed on the practice sheet. So he's worked hard to be the hitter that he is. But I think when he's actually not swinging the bat, those takes will kind of tell you what he's trying to do. And his one at bat that was not very good tonight, he had a really bad take in there. So it's kind of what we've seen. And he's just as good as the two guys hitting right next to him. It makes it nice there for us.
Drew Beam, looked like solid Drew Beam out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the leadoff home run. What'd you like about what you saw from him tonight?
I think to me, he's usually, we kind of have beat the dead horse of steady Eddie or consistency, reliability, all those good words. Those are good things. But he threw a few pitches tonight, and I'm wondering, he'll look at video. I wonder if I'll pull him myself and pick out the 4 or 5 that were like real impressive, that were pretty dynamic. And his last bullpen was in here, and we'll use the technology as we see fit. I don't know who invented it, but the pitching lab, or and then Snead threw well the other night. Frank Anderson lab's thrown out, but this is just an indoor area with a nice dirt mound that we bought. Our guys never throw on anything that's not dirt. And he was working on. I don't interfere. He was working on sharpening up some off-speed things, and you saw those in moments. So maybe consistency will get added, and it'll be even more dynamic a time or two out.
Billy Emick last night said that he's thinking less and hitting more. That's his mantra. Is that something that's been a conversation, or is he a guy that you kind of just leave alone?
No, I think he's older, and he's always had success at the plate. And you watch him. You want the guys to work hard, but you want them to also know like what they need and what they don't need, and whether it be on defense or offense. I think also in the weight room, he's got a pretty good understanding of who he is and what he needs to do. He's a good listener when you offer information, but he's not looking to add eyewash or anything like that. So the fact that he lives his day-to-day life and also works day-to-day to prepare for games kind of with that same mantra, I think it's probably easier for him to be. It's like Drew Beam. I mean, consistently same attitude, same mentality, same personality, same mood every day. So to be consistent, you got to be consistent. And that it sounds kind of dumb to say it, but it really is, an equation that works. And I think for Billy, what he's doing in the game is also what he's doing day to day. And so that it's nice he's letting that kind of mindset work for him. And maybe he can talk to a couple other guys to think less and just play more.
You see Hunter Ensley kind of working himself out of the little rough patch at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, sample size. I printed off. You got the regular stats that you guys look at, and then we got a lot of other subsets of that. And I printed off a subset. I'll keep to myself what it was, but I literally printed it off today, and then I started to look at it, and the sample size is not big enough, and I threw it away in my trash can next to Tzatziki's, which was delicious. I ate it all, but the plate that the Tzatziki's was on. but sample size isn't big enough to start getting too critical. And if the coaching staff that's in charge of, I met with one of our guys upstairs today, and we may not make the right decision, but it won't be because we haven't put time into it. We haven't discussed. It's important to us, and so if it's not important enough for us to start breaking down these stats too much for guys, then there's some glaring things they need to pay attention to. But we're still not to the point where you can fully judge where a guy's at. I don't feel like.
How much can success feel even more success at the plate like it did during the bottom of the sixth?
Yeah, I mean that it kind of starts to feed one another. I mean, we want guys to have productive at bats. So if a guy gets hit by a pitch, even though he didn't do anything, and then he moves up on a ball in the dirt, just for an example, now all of a sudden the guy at the plate can move the runner. He might drive him in. There's more opportunities to look good to the fans, or have a quality at bat to make the coaches happy, or to make him feel good as a player. When your teammates do their job, they make it easier on you to do your things. And then when you do your thing, you make it easier on your teammates. So it kind of feeds itself. And I do feel like we have that lineup that was mentioned. It was one of my favorite things ever said about our teams is in 2020, you could flip our lineup upside down and it would kind of be the same thing. And Hunter Ensley has led off in about as important a game as you can ever play in against the best competition amateur-wise you can play, and he also has hit 9. And that's just one example. Peebles has moved all over the place. So I think it's a lineup that's got good depth. We've got guys ready to go off the bench. And if everyone just kind of doing their part, they'll make it easier. And then the whole thing will kind of feed itself, or feed each other, however you want to say it. Sturl says feed the floor.
Tony, do you have a plan for who's going to start tomorrow?
No, and I don't know that we'll even come to that conclusion in the next couple hours. We want to use a lot of guys. We've been cut short 4 innings for guys on the mound, and trust me, the goal is to win the game. We kind of had the conversation out there. It's kind of fun when you win a series on a Sunday because you can act like a fool, back in the locker room or the coach's locker room, and it's over and you accomplish the mission. The mission is to win the series each weekend, but when you win it on a Saturday or day 2, there's something right around the bend. It's a team that's dying to get out of here with a win, and call it an SEC win too for Bowling Green. And then we need to be just as hungry as they are tomorrow. Having said that, we do got to see the whole season as a big picture. And Combs just needed to throw tonight. It'd been too long, and maybe I'd mismanaged that. And we need to get some other guys out there. So whoever throws the first inning, there's a relatively decent chance it's a different guy the second inning.
Thank you.
Don't tell